I'm not dating a man that does not come from a two-parent household. I don't care what race you are.
You came from a two-parent household?
No.
Shout the season.
Another weird statistic about the fatherlessness, promiscuity. Dudes without fathers who grow up in a single mother household tend to be more players. Because if I had a son, right, I'm going to be like, stop chasing girls all the time. Take it from me, a man who's done that. That is fucking useless. But I had no dad to tell me that. Plus, I grew up only with female validation in the household. So like all senses of my validation came from a woman, right? It's that feminine attention, feminine love, both my mom and my grandma, you know? So then you get older and you just seek that constantly in like relationships.
That's an interesting one.
You have like a bigger need for female attention than I think people who grow up in two-parent households.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing it to be true because all my most friends have no dad.
Huh. I got that.
So the daddy issues go both ways for both genders.
We don't know what happened to you, buddy.
You have a dad and you're still or like,
I didn't say
What is the message? Always blame the brown woman for the child not doing what the child should be doing.
Oh, ask me. I got time today. First, let's start off with your caption, right? Because I haven't seen not one white tea woman say that the white man has no value in the home. And second of all, don't y'all get custody 90% of the time of the kids? How the hell you gonna blame somebody that wasn't even there? And third of all, whenever a man offers to help you with your child, what do you all always say to him? My baby, my child, right? Not our child. My baby. That's what you all say, right? Okay, just checking. Your caption says we have no value in the household. So we left. You all have more exposure and time with the children than we do. But let's not forget, you all though are those big, strong, and independent women too. The thing is, independent people, they own their own mistakes. Yeah, so if it's our fault, the truth is you're not independent and you're not as strong as you claim to be. But you said that we are of no value to you.
That nigga got a point.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So that was a precursor of what's to come in the intro videos that you've seen. I came across a video, another clip of the interview that TRIPP Fontaine did on Comedy Hype. This one, as you can see, discusses more about black sons that are raised by single moms. And they want to go, and they kind of go over the dynamics of that situation. And I want to share this with y'all because TRIPP shedded some light on this situation that I want to go over. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
No knock to some of y'all mamas, but you playing savior to a woman that may be wild as. Your mama might be single for a f***ing reason.
But there is something about even how young women now, they raise their sons up to kind of be like the replacement if the father was no longer there. So yeah, just your thoughts in that whole space of like the black son and the black mother relationship. Are we people pleasing our mothers too much as black men?
I think that's delicate, right? Delicate not in that I don't want to offend anybody, delicate in that it's a lot of layers.
Yes.
The layer that I would like to acknowledge first is that in a lot of households, black children have had to put in earlier than other households. Is to say that like in lower income households, eventually you do become a burden. And so you may be expected to get a job,
Right.
especially a young man. I want to acknowledge also that what society teaches boys very early is that a man is supposed to have a plan. A man is supposed to be able to make a way. A man is supposed to be able to provide. Especially when a young boy start to go through puberty, right? Where if a man was in the house, this is where a man would start to help him sculpt his man. You know, your hormones raging. Right. You kind of need to
A guide.
have exactly, because what happens in a lot of single mother households is that he end up challenging his mom,
Right.
right? Well, because his hormones are raging, his testosterone, he trying to. That's
Yeah,
where he's
yeah.
supposed to be learning to yield to authority. Where some boys choose to step in and be the savior. Where now he's smelling himself and he feel like he grown. Where normally, again, this would be where your father come in and guide that, steer that, help refine that. Where you trying to challenge authority, this is where you will healthily challenge your father, and your father will healthily bear down on you and show you how to yield to authority as well as develop
Right.
your own leadership. You know what I mean? So I say all of that contextually to say, yes, there are some mothers who are attempting to raise a man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like what he is describing is what we like to call son husbands. Um, and the reason why this is unhealthy is because these are just kids. And it's unfortunate, man. And this is why I'm so grateful to grow up in a two-parent household, because even though I did get my first job when I was 12, part of that was because my dad wanted to instill that hustle mentality in me and make sure that, no matter what, even if you don't, I don't think my dad would ever thought I would be in a position where I'm at currently, but um, I've always took what he taught me and applied that even into this YouTube channel. Now, just to make sure that no matter what, you can always be able to provide for yourself. I think that's one of the reasons why my mom gravitated towards my dad, even though he wasn't this big time earner and she was the breadwinner. She knew that no matter what, like no matter how well I'm doing in life, my husband is always going to be able to make a way for himself, and he doesn't necessarily need me or my money to survive. So once again, like you said, being able to provide for yourself, but I think it's a little bit unhealthy where we got especially black sons that are put in that position so early.
Mm-hmm.
From boyhood.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe there are a pocket. I'm not going to say the majority.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's unfair, but I believe there are a pocket who romanticize the relationship between
Mm-hmm.
mothers and sons and
Mm-hmm.
try to make him best friend, try to make him
Mm-hmm.
king of the house and things like that. I've seen the posts.
Right.
Hell,
Right.
I've seen some of it from peers of mine, um, and I think it's completely unhealthy. I think that anytime adults make adults of children, it's unhealthy.
Mm.
So
Because the other part that I saw is like when you eventually, if people that are watching this, they'll get a wife, or men that are watching get a wife, there's that whole conversation of, if you driving and you got to pick between your mama and your wife sitting in the car, some of the guys is choosing moms.
which is crazy.
I'm glad you
Hey, I
said that.
agree, yo. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. And you know what? Let me know what y'all think in the comments about that, man. If you were in a situation where you had to choose between your mom or your girl being in a car, who are you gonna choose to be in the front seat? This is going to be very interesting to see in the comments. Me personally, my girl is sitting in the front seat. I know how my mom is. My mom is not going to sit over here and trip on that. My mom ain't going to mind sitting in the back seat. As a matter of fact, when I just took my parents to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, last month, my mom immediately got in the back of my truck. I was like, yeah, you wanted that back seat so that way your ass can nod off and be passenger princess. But yeah, man, if you got a mom that's truly understanding, like my mom, she won't trip on that, y'all. But you'd be surprised the amount of men that will choose their mom over their girl, bro, when it comes to that scenario. Let me know what y'all think about that. Let's keep it moving.
Which is
And it's
crazy.
not a knock on moms. I think my mom is solid enough. She knows, like, no, that's your lady. Like, I'm good back. I'm back here. But some brothers are really like, there's something there that needs to be maybe unpacked.
It's the safe. It's so your initial question was about black men, not about black motherhood.
Hmm.
I think yes, some of us are people pleasing towards our mothers
Because it
too
can get a
much
little ridiculous.
because we're attempting to play savior.
Okay.
I think a lot of black boys are now dressed up as black men, and that's not to knock them. It's to say that we all have been hurt. We all been affected by our childhood in some capacity, and some of it we just don't address because it's normal, because it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Having to show up for your mama in that capacity is not normal.
Because it's supposed to be a man there doing that.
I ain't gonna say suppose, but you wasn't supposed to be doing it. You ain't her man. I know that. That's a fact. I can't say it's supposed to be a goddamn thing going on. That's your mama. Your mama might be goddamn crazy. But ain't that the point though? Is that now you playing savior to a woman that, no knock to some of y'all mamas, but you playing savior to a woman that may be wild as fuck. Your mama might be single for a fucking reason. But now you've learned to rationalize certain behavior. You learn to tolerate certain behavior. And you carry that out into the romantic arena. And now you try to make that shit women's fault. That you trying to play hero, which you not one. Nigga, your mom's still crazy. You have not loved your mom into being into a relationship, my nigga. Just like you not about to hero and cape one of these women into a relationship who may not be for you or may not be shit.
Bruh, Trip, hey man, that's the homie, bro. I fucks with him, bro. That is such a valid point because when you think about it, I think this is one of the reasons why so many men grow up with this blue pill type of mentality because they didn't have that masculinity to steer them in the right direction and let them know, like, hey, that ain't your space. That ain't for you to do, at least not right now. It ain't your place to do that. And it just goes to show you, because notice how you mentioned, these women, these single moms teach men to tolerate certain type of behaviors. Why do you think that is, bro? Think about that. They teach their sons to tolerate certain behavior because they know, well, for one, it's a bit biased, because they don't, how can I put this? They don't treat they don't raise their daughter, they don't treat their daughters or raise their daughters to put up with certain things from men. Women are raised to not tolerate anything from men, and then on the opposite, men are raised to tolerate a lot of shit from women. And I think this dynamic applies to single mothers raising boys in general. Can it happen in two parents households? Of course it can, but I would argue that this probably applies to this situation, single motherhood, more than anything else. Especially when the lack of masculinity isn't, when the masculinity isn't present. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this topic, though. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love of support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's what the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.